How's it going? How's everybody doing? Essential Notes, back to talk fragrance, and today I'm going to be talking about this bad boy, Back to Black by Kilian. Kilian was a brand that I had heard a lot about. A lot of people were talking about them like as a must-try brand, but a lot of people were talking about them at the same time. And when that happens, I just kind of take a step back. I let them do the talking, and I kind of make a mental note that, hey, once kind of everyone stops talking about it, I don't want to be swayed by their opinions. I'll go and try and explore a brand at that point in time. So I had waited quite a while. I think this fragrance, in fact, was like released in 2009. I may be wrong, but let me know in the comments. And real quick, the perfumer is Calice Becker. I think that's how you say her name. But what had happened is I was on a live with Fragged Out, Swagged Out, and an Unaverage Joe, and Joe kept kind of referring to Back to Black as the one, like, oh, that's the one that, like, he held it in a real high regard. And I remember that, and I remember when we jumped off, taking a note, like, hey, when I go explore Kilian, Back to Black is one that I've got to try. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, that's one that's on the list. And so last summer, I found myself in Vegas for a glamcation, and there happens to be a Kilian boutique in Vegas. So I made my way there on Rico's recommendation, and I tried Back to Black, and Joe hit the nail on the head. It's an amazing scent. The notes of this fragrance are bergamot, saffron, nutmeg, cardamom, coriander, raspberry, chamomile, olibanum, honey, cedar, oak, tobacco, patchouli, almond, vanilla, labdanum. Now that's a ton of ingredients pulling off, what goes on in this scent. But let's jump into, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on this. Now, when I first smelled it, the first thing I get is honey. And I get honey with a side of tea. Chamomile, they mentioned, so that it's probably chamomile and honey in there. And it's kind of like most people stir honey into their tea, and the honey will dissolve. And the tea is what kind of stays prominent, but the honey kind of supports the reflavoring or the restructuring of the flavoring in the tea, but it's still tea. Where I get the exact opposite with this. I feel like tea is being stirred into the honey, and eventually, like, the tea element will kind of work. The honey is up top, the tea kind of does its thing, and eventually fades away. But really, like, it's about the honey. And there's like a coriander that kind of merges with the tea, once the tea kind of starts stepping back, and it creates a nice freshness that makes this not like a overly sweet, overly thick, dense honey fragrance. A lot of honey fragrances can go quite dense, and this does not. Then there's spices that kind of creep into the picture. There's saffron, and it creates this really rich, beautiful spiced honey. I think they said there's nutmeg in there as well. I don't pick up the nutmeg as much as I do the saffron, but it creates this beautiful spiced honey quality that, and the honey lasts in this for quite a while. And as with Kilian, this has a boozy quality to it as well. Like most of their fragrances, from Kilian are boozy inspired, and I totally get that here. And then down in the base, you have a nice solid oak that really, it's not like cedar. In my opinion, cedar kind of sometimes can creep up into a fragrance and become a main player in the heart, or maybe even the opening. Where oak, you can detect it, but it kind of just stays put. It doesn't kind of come up and grow and take over the space. And oak just really allows all the other beautiful ingredients to kind of do their thing. It's like the stage that is set, that is oak, and the performers are the other ingredients. That's what it feels like to me. There's also a leathery quality that I pick up. No leather is mentioned. Labdanum can kind of come across as, well, it does come across as leathery, not kind of. And so I think that's what kind of is creating that. And it's just gorgeous. Like that's basically all it is but, oh, there's tobacco as also how, I don't know how I forget, because the tobaccos that play in the heart, and it really just warms, the whole composition, and it gives it a richness. And I suspect if the nutmeg is really there, it's probably coupled up with the tobacco. I would definitely qualify this as a honey fragrance, and more than anything else. And in fact, when I read the notes, I thought like, oh, we're getting another honeyed tobacco fragrance, but the experience is completely different. I get more of a tobaccoed honey fragrance, like where it's flipped. So that's the thing I find so unique about Back to Black, that it's almost everything in reverse of what we typically get in these type of fragrances. It kind of all works in reverse, which I loved. I thought it was a very, very cool experience. And if you guys don't know, Back to Black was inspired by Kilian's love. I don't know if love, but he was a huge fan, I think, of Amy Winehouse, which that's one of her albums. I think her biggest album was Back to Black, and that's kind of what it was named after. But anyways, yeah, that's my take. I really love this fragrance. Thank you, Joe, for recommending I get my nose on this. I love it. In fact, this leapfrogged almost everything else I had on my to buy list at the end of last year. So yeah, I'd love to get your take. What do you guys think about Back to Black? Leave some comments. If you could hit the like button, go ahead and make some comments and subscribe, share this video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Trying to grow it. I'm at a whopping 10 right now. 10 subscribers. So we'll see where we can take this thing. But dude, I keep making them because I enjoy them. I hope that the few people that are watching them enjoy them too. And until next time, peace.